Oh, hi. So listen, pals, let's talk about 2019, huh? I have a bunch of things to weed out because I'm making some stuff. What a surprise. It was a good time to chat, talk about the year to come. Not that I know much about what this year holds for me, which is terrifying and exhilarating, but I also want this to kind of kickstart a conversation with you guys as far as stuff you want me to be doing. If you haven't been keeping up with recent videos, I lost the costume shop job. Sucks for everybody involved. No hard feelings. I am obviously job hunting. I do have 2 interviews next week. One is at least in the sewing industry, and I'm really excited about it. I hope that goes okay, but it is only part-time, which is good and bad because it means less income that's steady, but I also will have time to continue working on my Etsy shop and kind of like my own business stuff. Also, obviously, videos. And I need to give a world of credit to so many of you that have jumped over onto my Patreon this month. I've had about a dozen or so of you pledging to and supporting me over there, so what little time I did have last year, I was able to focus on videos and working on projects and stuff, although that didn't amount to much just because 2018 was a fucking bonkers year. Rather than getting into that, I just want to thank all of you that stuck around through all of that, even when I wasn't putting out super regular content. Huge thank you to all the new people that, I don't know if you have been thinking about supporting me anyway, and me losing my job was just like a kickstart to go do it, but I have been like emotionally overwhelmed in a positive way, just that you guys give a shit, and that really means a lot, and it's just relieving some stress, allowing me to keep working in this space and making all these ideas that I've had for a long time and now have the opportunity to build those projects. It's so satisfying. I have really been kicking my ass into gear as far as producing more videos. Granted, we're only a couple weeks into the year, barely even a full week, maybe 10 days. Here's an easy way to figure that out. It's January 11th, so we've been into January for 11 days. I've already put out probably more than I did the entire last 6 months of 2018, so I know I'm going to have better follow through for this because I have to and I want to. Pushing 2 videos a week. I'm looking to upload on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I mean, my favorite thing to do is make stuff, so those kinds of things are going to continue. More just like update, shoot the shit videos are probably going to happen where it's not necessarily a tutorial. I'm getting adventure vlogs back up. I'm gonna start with monthly and see where it goes from there. I feel like they're going to be very long, but I also personally enjoy watching a half-hour plus update video once a month from creators that I follow. If you have any preferences over like weekly versus monthly, where the length of video is going to vary between those two, obviously, let me know your thoughts as far as that goes. Over on my Patreon, I've had a tier for a long time that gave you access to a live stream. I have just had the biggest headache of a time trying to figure out live streams. Even just doing open public ones through YouTube, it's almost impossible to schedule it for the people that it's for. So I think rather than doing live streams, anyone that donates like $5 or above will get like a monthly video, and that's going to be whatever you want that to look like. So I'm going to make a post in the middle of every month, essentially opening up like a Q&A. And if there's other topics you want me to discuss or projects you want me to show you, maybe there's a technique I've talked about in a video that you want more clarification on, I can kind of go over that more, and that'll just be for patrons. I know not everyone can pitch into that, and I totally understand. If you can, it would obviously mean the world to me more than ever right now, but I also want to make sure I'm actually delivering on things and giving back to you in a way that you want. Seriously, thank everybody so much, even dollar tier people, even if you used to donate and can't anymore, even if you just think about it and are actually able to do it. I really want you to know how big of an impact that has. It's helping me in a big way, and you will like never know the scope of that. So all I can say is thanks. I opened my Etsy shop back up and have been putting new items up for sale, as well as like the old couple standards that I used to have years ago when I used to do it. And I have just a forever long list of new stuff I want to be making for it. But of course, part of that is finding the time and resources to do the trial and error and prototyping and working up new patterns and all that stuff. So it's been a slow build, but I have some new stuff up there that I'm really pumped about, and just kind of one-off stuff that I've made in the past. Not only has that been financially beneficial for me having my Etsy shop open again and taking some commission work, like if you have a costume you need help working on or don't have time for but really want for a convention or something, reach out to me and we can talk about it, workshop some ideas. All of this has also been a really much needed confidence boost. Like I feel a lot more competent than I was towards the end of last year, and like I can actually do stuff and kind of have worthwhile ideas, if that makes sense. It's really hard after getting let go from especially your dream job and also just having like the worst year possible to feel like you're worth much. But yeah, that's been a huge factor in like helping me build myself back up again, because it hasn't been easy, but there's no option to not bust my ass. I'm feeling beyond lucky that I have this kind of support network. Even just seeing stuff that you guys have been making and hearing your stories about stuff you're going through or projects you were making, or like that I posted a video and you fucking went out, got the materials and made it the same day. Fewer things make me feel so good as when I can inspire someone like that, especially when they put their own spin on it and it comes out way better than whatever I made. I'm feeling better about things, at least this week so far. Feeling like I potentially have some directions to be going in, and you guys are definitely a big thing to blame for that, so thank you very much. I'm working on some custom work for some local businesses right now. I have some ideas to pitch them, but I need like the prototypes to see if it's a workable thing that I want to do. Sorry to keep that super vague. I will obviously update you if that ends up being a thing. Once I get this done, I have some projects that I'm making for a local charity. They're called Community Caregivers. I raised a bunch of money for them doing an art fair last year, selling some of my older inventory, and then they asked me to lend my sewing skills, and it was like right after that I found out I was losing the job, and holidays and stuff. I just didn't have the time, and I know I need to be putting a lot of time into my own stuff, but I also very much feel like I owe them, because it's people in really tough financial situations that they are helping, and I want to dedicate this whole weekend to working on stuff for them, making like lap blankets and maybe some aprons that are almost like fidget blankets and aprons for people with dementia and Alzheimer's. And I think it's such an incredible cause and a really cool project because it'll better some people's lives. Once I get that done, I get to start building up inventory for a comic book convention that I'm going to have a table at. It's not till March. It's actually the weekend of my 30th birthday, so come hang out. It's at Manchester Memorial High School up in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's March 23rd, and I'll be selling my stuff in person. So if you are around and want to buy some of my makes, or at least just check them out in person, please come by. I'll post the Facebook event in the description. A couple people asked if I've been giving myself time to work on just personal things for myself, which I haven't been able to justify much lately, but I spent a bunch of time painting last night. I'm really excited with how these turned out. If you don't recognize these, I mean, it's a very basic iteration of it, but these are Hedwig eyes. Hedwig and the Angry Inch is my favorite musical, and I even added some like glitter on the outside of the eyeshadow. This is kind of based on one of Darren Chris's promo shoots. I also had this idea for like, I don't know, kinda silhouette style watercolor painting based on the Panic at the Disco Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die album cover, because I think it's just really cool artwork. Not that I advocate cigarettes, but this was just really pretty, and I really like how it turned out. I don't often draw people. I don't often draw anything, really, but I was very pleased with how this came out. It's funny, like as soon as I do the painting or drawing, I'll think about it for like months ahead of time, and once I get it down on the canvas board is what I usually use, but get it down on paper, I can like let it go. I don't need the physical thing anymore. I will actually probably have these for sale at the comic book conventions. This one is not my prettiest work. I just really wanted to do a green watercolor, and the gold Deathly Hallows, I don't love how it looks. This was the last thing I painted before I went to bed this morning, because it was like 4:55 a.m. when I was doing the gold. I would like to practice my line work, but then I have like a little Hogwarts outline and the little stars that are on the pages. I may do a couple of these and sell those at my artist table. And real quick, can we talk about how cute the little tiny canvases are? I love these so much. I'm also planning to send stuff like this out more frequently for mail time perks. I know this has been like very self-promo-y, but I also need to let all of you know where I'm at in the world, and also if you are unfamiliar with any of the like Patreon, Etsy, I also have a Ko-fi page. I'll link to everything, just if you're unaware, because I'll follow people and not necessarily watch every single one of their videos, so they'll be doing some kind of side thing for a while and I won't know about it until like 6 months later because they happened to mention it on a podcast or whatever. Just putting all of this out there, and also wanted to chat about what at least January 2019 is looking like. I want this to kind of start a conversation. Comment below or comment any of my social media stuff or email me or whatever. My challenge to you is to try out that project that you've been like too intimidated by, because I definitely get in my own head about things I haven't done before, and I'm like, it's gonna be too hard, there's no possible way I can do this well. And then I give it a try, maybe things go wrong, maybe it works out great. Either way, I learn a lot. I definitely think that's a worthwhile venture. Or if you're like my mom and are an incredible painter and haven't dedicated any time to that, maybe try to carve out a little, wake up a little extra early and do it. Stay up a little late. You can catch up on sleep later, says the person that stayed up until 5 in the morning and then got up at like 10:30. Oh boy, Liz has been all over the place, and I have not been digging out any of my stickers because I don't want to just be doing this the whole time. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it here. Maybe I'll do like a voiceover situation over me weeding these out, because it is very satisfying getting all the little bits out of things. Here's to a fabulous and successful 2019. Let me know what your, maybe not even resolutions, but what your personal goal may be. Maybe it's finishing that t-shirt quilt that you've been staring at in the corner of your closet for 8 years. Definitely not speaking from personal experience. Or if it's to read a book once a month, which is also something that I have on my list of things. I've loved having more interactions with you guys these past couple weeks, and it's my favorite part about doing all of this. So let's chat it up, because you're all lovely, wonderful humans, and I appreciate you hanging out with me when you could be hanging out with literally anyone else on the internet. You're all great, even if you don't feel like it all the time. I know. Ooh, that got real Hufflepuffy. You're welcome. And also, can we talk about the little tiny canvases? Oh, oops.